Hello, I'm back. I had a month off. Let's get straight back into it. New video, putting an end to beat block. 10 ways you can overcome your beat block. The first one is downloading a new pack, getting new sounds. This doesn't necessarily mean buying a new sample pack. There are so many free packs you can get from a variety of producers, including myself, just for exchanging your email. I often like to get one-shot kits because they're really easy to use and can really inspire new ideas. And the kind of sounds you get can kind of guide you into the style of music that you make and can kind of shape where your thoughts go. Meaning a deep, dark synth is going to inspire you to make something dark and gritty, and other sounds will take you elsewhere, which is great because then you've got lots of different options and different ideas on the kind of style that you want to do. 2 is just going outside and taking in your surroundings. Often when you look for inspiration around you, you will find it, and one of the best places to find inspiration is the physical world. For music especially, it is the physical outside world, not in your room. Taking a step outside, looking around, and intentionally trying to find inspiration can really help, no matter what your surroundings are. Even if it's a concrete jungle, that can be really inspiring in itself. And maybe it's the motivation to get out of your surroundings and into somewhere else. That can also be used to gain inspiration. Try noticing things which you don't normally take in and focus on that. And try and represent that thing, whether it's a sound, a smell, or something you see in music form. That way you have something to try and create. And once you're doing that, you're already past that beat block. 3 is listen to songs and try to remake them. This is such a great one because it is one of the best ways to learn and improve as a producer. So when you're struggling a bit for ideas, remaking a song is such a great use of your time because you're capitalizing on that time where you're struggling for your own original ideas by improving and learning what makes big songs sound good, how to mix and master and achieve a sound. If you feel inspired and creative enough still to come up with some original ideas and make a beat similar to a song and use that song as a reference, then by all means go ahead. That's also good because that way you're creating something original still and you're able to upload it to BEATSTARS or whatever beat selling platform you use. But if you can't, remake a song because you'll find it a lot easier initially because you don't have to create any new ideas, but it will get harder and more challenging the further along you go because you're trying to make it sound as close to the real thing as possible. You'll likely find as well that when you start remaking the song, that beat block will be a lot less noticeable and you'll likely feel a lot more inspired. 4 is try making a genre you've never done before. This could sound counterintuitive to do something which is really difficult even when you don't have beat block, but again, I'm going off my experience and I found that sometimes when you throw yourself a complete curveball, you react in a different way, something drastically different to what you're used to. More on that in a bit. So if you make dark Chicago trap beats, try making R&B. That way you're not stuck in your usual process, which may have been a factor in actually experiencing beat block in the first place. You're using new sounds and instruments, using different songs, new songs as references, and it requires a totally different style of music and different ideas to actually create it, which may be exactly what you need to get out of that brain space. 5 is browse loops and use them. This is a really good way of still being able to create beats while having beat block. Browsing through loops alone is a great source of inspiration because it may trigger an idea or a desire to make a loop in a similar style. And that's before even using the loop in your own production. Then using the loop is good because you can still be creative in how you arrange it, how you add drums to it, maybe you add 1 or 2 layers on top. All that is easier because the groundwork which beat block stopped you from doing has already been done by someone else. It is important to say though that just chucking a loop into your project, adding some generic drums to it is not going to solve your beat block. You've got to intentionally work against it and use that loop to create ideas yourself. 6 is search for chord progressions online. You can search for specific progressions for your genre. Often with beat block, it's just that very first initial idea which is stopped, not being able to find the chords you need to get started, which is why I recommend finding chord progressions online to use to get you started and just past that initial difficult point where beat block can so often happen. As I said, search up chords specific to your genre, then you can adjust them if you feel like it, add 1 or 2 notes here and there or not, it's totally up to you. And it's a lot easier from there because again, the foundations have been laid and you're much more likely to come up with some ideas which will get you over that hill which beat block creates, and then from there it's just downhill. Meaning it's a lot easier and everything will come a lot more naturally to you. 7 is watch other producers on YouTube. Watching cook-up videos of a variety of different producers, I could give you a long list of people that I've watched and still watch, can give you that little fire again to make a beat. Whether that's, as we said before, the motivation to reach your goals of music and get to the point where they're at and force yourself into creating again. Some people would say that if it doesn't come naturally, you shouldn't do it, but in this instance, I disagree. Or whether that's just hearing what they've made and that's given you your own idea for a melody or something, or seeing their energy and enjoyment that they experience while making beats, and either consciously or subconsciously, you want to experience that as well, so you start making music again. 8 is make music in a different way to how you usually do. This is like what I was saying earlier about throwing yourself a curveball and reacting differently. If you're in a routine with music, and all of us have our routines, when that routine is repeated over and over again, and it's no fault of you for doing that, we all do it, it makes getting beat block a lot easier because there's very little room for experimentation and variety in your music. So change up the process. Make music in a different way to what you usually do, whether that's clicking in all your melodies instead of playing them, or vice versa, or starting with drums first when you usually do them last. There'll always be something which you can change up in your process, and that can be a really quick and easy thing to try and see if it helps. 9 is get creative. Use sounds from everyday life. Sample something weird and random like your toothbrush or knocking the desk. Sampling random sounds can be really fun because it's getting back to what got us all into music. Just enjoying making it, creating something and having fun with it. It's really easy for that fun aspect to be lost as time goes by, especially as we're trying to reach goals with music, create an income, make it our full-time job. And I've experienced this a lot lately. It's easy to forget why we started making music and that it's just a blessing to be able to do it and to have the skills to do it as well. So sampling random sounds is a great way to get back into that mindset of just enjoying the process, and can really practically help with beat block as well, because again, you're working with something you're not used to, and often it's a challenge to make that sample sound good, so you're exercising a part of your production game which you don't normally do. 10, and finally, is collaborate with other people. Get someone round, collaborate with a musician. Invite someone who plays an instrument round and get creating with them. I know that can be a daunting prospect. However, I'm literally talking about maybe a mate can play 3 chords on the guitar. That's it. That can make the process more enjoyable because you're getting a whole new perspective, a whole new set of ideas, and that person will take that beat in a completely different direction to how you would. So that is naturally going to spur on ideas for both of you. And that's a great way to collaborate together. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. We're just so close to 1,000 subscribers, and that is a big milestone. So please like and subscribe. Also, feel free to hit that first link in the description, which is a Discord server for producers. That's where place where you can learn all this stuff and more and discuss it with other producers. And it's just a great place to be as a producer. So there's lots more stuff coming in there as well. So feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.